Food Logistics and Supply and Demand Chain Executive.
And I'm Brielle Jekyll. I'm the Managing Editor.
And today we're talking about sustainable supply chains in relation to Supply and Demand Chain Executive's Green Supply Chain Award. This award recognizes companies making sustainability a core part of their supply chain strategy and achieving measurable goals within their operations. And a big thank you to our sponsors. You'll see their logos scrolling at the bottom of the screen throughout our conversation. And you can also learn more about all of the winners of this year's Green Supply Chain Award by visiting sdcexec.com. So one of the things that I noticed from this year's nominations is that sustainability still sells despite all of the supply chain disruptions that have been going on. Consumers and companies are still ranking the achieving and maintaining of sustainable supply chains toward the top of that list. And that's because sustainability matters. It matters to so many people. It matters to the consumers, the employers, the people that are looking for jobs. It matters to pretty much everybody across the board. And it's no longer, just about recycling or eliminating paper or reducing waste. A green supply chain it's so much more than that. Some of the winners from this year's award, they're working toward a net zero carbon footprint. They're deploying procure-to-pay automation solutions. They're working with their customers to decrease their carbon footprint. And it's not just the systems, it's about the fleet, how to reduce miles, convert to natural gas, improve the payments transaction process. It's also about packaging, utilizing biodegradable, recyclable packaging for all shipments, especially as those e-commerce rates continue to increase. And promoting a green supply chain is also helping mitigate risk. It is improving an environmental, social governance footprint, providing multi-tier visibility, and digitizing the supply chain to somewhat enforce that circular economy. Achieving a green supply chain makes every employee accountable for making that sustainable difference. And it takes a connected supply chain end to end to really infiltrate the sustainable aspects. And a lot of these winners, they came forward with a lot of nominations and shared a lot of that, which you'll see when you go to sdcexec.com. Brielle, I know you're writing about sustainable supply chains in Supply and Demand Chain Executive's December issue, which also is the same issue that announces the award winners. So what are some of the things that you're seeing from talking to some of the industry experts?
Well, I think the main thing is that sustainability is now such a broad topic. It means a lot more than just eco-friendly practices. Many experts that I've spoken to are really focusing on not just, like I said, environmentally friendly practices, but also a really strong ethics thought process. So we're now looking at just eliminating archaic practices throughout the entire supply chain and really focusing on a new modern way of doing things that sustains us for the future, that creates resiliency and creates a ethical and sustainable model to help these supply chains moving forward. And since we've seen such a disruptive year, almost 2 years now we're really trying to look for ways that's going to strengthen the supply chain to keep on going. And, that means creating sustainable practices and aligning for a better future that is congruent with what consumers want as well, which is the number one driver of everything nowadays, is what consumers demand. So we're looking at new technologies that are really changing the way we use fossil fuels. We can now use new ways of renewable energy. We're looking at reusable packaging and just a completely different way of doing things.
Well, that's a wrap. Thank you for joining us today. And thank you to our sponsors. Again, you'll see their logos scrolling at the bottom of the screen. Be sure to go to sdcexec.com to learn more about the winners from this year's Green Supply Chain Award.